Welcome back. It's time for another photo session story. Like the last few, this one is about a day out with my wife that we took to a couple different conservation areas. Seems like all we do are go to conservation areas and take photos. That's pretty much all I've done when it comes to photography so far, other than going out on my bike and taking photos when I'm out riding, which there are videos coming about that. The camera that I use is the Canon 7D, and I paired it with the 18 to 55mm kit lens. I do have a couple different lenses, but this is the main one that I use, and this is the one that I was using during this story that I'm about to tell you. The first stop that we made on this particular day was probably 10 minutes from our house. We've driven past it numerous times and thought it would be a good time just to kind of stop by and see what it was about. It's not a very big trail. I think it's maybe 2 kilometers long, so not very big at all. It borders a farmer's field, or it sits right next to it, so there's nothing too spectacular about it other than it's got like a little ravine with a little dam that goes underneath a road. Before going to the first area that we stopped at, I adjusted up and added custom modes to the camera. I have a video out about doing that, so if you're interested about how to go ahead and set the custom modes on your Canon camera, go back and check it out. It might be helpful for you. Custom mode 1 I had with a large focal square when I was on live view. Custom mode 2 I had set with the 19 dot focal points on live view, and custom mode 3 I just had with 9 focal dots in the center of the screen, I guess you could say, when I was on live view. No real rhyme or reason as to why I've set it up like that. I didn't really have anything in particular that I was focusing on that specific day. It was more or less just to get out and play around with more of the settings on the camera, get a little bit more acclimated to how it reacts and whatnot. I did manage to get a couple photos from the first stop that I was actually pretty happy with. One was from a tree line that trail ran in the middle of. Another image that I took was a reflection image, and I took probably 15 or 20 of them just to try to get a good one. Keep in mind the photos that I show in this video, and probably in a lot of my other videos coming up, are unedited, they're raw, there's what the camera took, so bear with them if they're not good. This is more or less just a way to preview and showcase the work that I put in, a little bit of the progress that I make over the course of, I guess, my photography journey, you could call it. Leaving that conservation area, we headed to another one that was maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes from our house, so again, pretty close. Being there, I kept my camera on custom setting number 2, which gave me the 19 points of focal on the live view. My f-stop was set to f10 just to give me like a broader depth of field, less blur in the background, I guess you could say. That's one thing I've learned, is it allows you to capture more of a clear image when it comes to nature photography. Seeing as we were out when it was like deep into the fall colors, my main objective at this location was just to try to capture the best that I could, just the fall colors, the atmosphere, the vibe, before the entire place went dark and gray from all the leaves falling to the ground. At this spot, there was a lot of boardwalks. There was a nice body of water with the leaves that landed on it, and they were just kind of floating on it. Did manage to capture some really good images, at least I think they're good. The leaves just laying on the water and some of the reflection from the sun and whatnot beaming through. There was also another area right around that spot where there was a bridge. There was a bench just on the other side of the little stream, I guess you could call it. So I did take a couple photos of that. Some of the trees and whatnot in this area were kind of neat. The way they had the boardwalk just winding through some of the trees. I tried my best to capture as much of it as I could to kind of portray some of the vibes. At the time of making this video, that was probably about a month and a half ago, so if there was any mistakes that I made, I don't remember them, but I do remember trying to capture the fall overall feeling that was portrayed on that day. One thing I have gotten in the habit of doing though after every shoot is to come home and upload the photos to my laptop and then go through them and wean out any of the ones that I don't ever feel like I'll be able to do anything with. So then I save space and I just keep the ones that I feel like I could eventually go back and kind of adjust up a little bit and make them something. One thing about this shoot though, and even the last one, I feel like I wish I would have done was to shoot just in a regular screen, so no live view, and instead of having the focus mode in one shot, having it in like AI servo, so then the camera is always adjusting instead of just focusing on one thing and locking in and then taking the image. I feel like I may have been able to capture a lot more if I would have put it in like AI servo. That's one downfall about having this camera though, is like I said in my last story video, the live view focus modes aren't really a good thing. They're kind of slow and I can't shoot an AI servo that way. It's a little bit of a downer, but hopefully this video was kind of entertaining for you. I tried my best to try to tell the story as the best that I could. Hopefully you've enjoyed the journey so far. If you have and you wouldn't mind, thumbs up and subscribe. Get out there, get capturing, enjoy the moments, and I'll catch you in the next video.